And because you guys are in America, I'm American as well, so we know Domino's, I believe it was Domino's, a couple months ago, they actually bought some plot of land in Decentraland and made their own virtual pizza shop in there. So I believe you can order pizza from there, and then they will deliver it to your house in the real world. So yeah, this is something like this is just the start, but this is something that we see happening worldwide, and it's a place that we can visit our friends, see each other, hang out, do things, and see places that we haven't done before. So that's just my little thoughts on MicroVerse and the metaverse in general. So I believe most of the people here are here to perhaps have a sort of AMA. Is that correct? In other words, ask me some questions, or if they have some comments to make.
Yes, we would like to, so today all the people who sign up for this meeting, most of them are, big team leaders. So they want to know more about this company. So today's meeting is basically for us to know more about your company, and also for you to know more about us. So that's why we can communicate and to know what we are expecting from each other. So today, so basically, if you can give us a brief introduction of what is the planning for the near future of the company, and then we can ask you some questions. For the next 3 months, what we are going to do. For the next 1 to 3 months, and maybe for the long-term plan, what are we gonna do? So, do we have any problems or issues you may have at this point? So we don't know what's going on inside the company. So you probably can, give us some information we want to know. So that will help us to work harder to get more people to sign up for this company. So that's the point.
Okay. Sure. I'll just go quick. So we think the plans for the future are our own micro swap. So if anyone uses crypto regularly, they know on Binance there's a pancake swap, and there's Uniswap. So we plan to make one for ours as well. For MicroVerse, this will be called MicroSwap. We'll be releasing this soon, relatively soon. And then we're going to be joining a DEX. We're going to be partnering with at least one DEX for now, and that's just to get the token on that DEX listed on there and provide some market making capabilities so that people have liquidity if they want to trade back and forth or just trade the token. We are introducing the Minos. We have the different NFTs that we'll be creating and releasing to our network. We'll be partnering with multiple companies, whether, like I had said before, the capabilities in the metaverse are vast. So there'll be different kinds of partners that we can have, right? We are always keeping up to date on our security. We have already been, with Certicate, we have already had them check us out, right? They've looked at our code. They find that it's all right, that it's safe. So we are constantly also keeping up to date on the security features, right? And we're always looking at new things that we can implement, and having our users, having our community let us know about stuff, because we are human just like everyone else, and we don't know everything that's happening around the world, perhaps the different trends or the things that in different places. And we would love to hear, feedback from the community members. Oh, what did you guys try doing this before? This would be great, because then we can see what our community members actually like
Recording
about it,
in progress.
What they enjoy about it, what they perhaps would like to see, and we can work together and see if we can implement this into the platform as well. The features or new Minos, perhaps, or different designs of Minos, or exclusive Minos for particular members that meet certain criteria. I think this would be a good way that we can all work together and improve the company itself and improve just all the users' experience.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, I see we have we have someone have raised their hand. Should you continue, or do we let the person raise their hand?
I think they
No.
want to have a translator because some people they probably don't understand the English. So we'll see. Maybe I can ask them. Okay, I think we have 3 chat. Hold on.
Maybe Aurelius can or someone can translate a little bit about what I said, because he's one of our members or one of our team members, and he is able to
right. So actually
to translate fully.
Yeah, so actually for today's presentation, okay, we are actually focusing in the US market, but apparently there are more people joining in. So we haven't really prepared any translation for Chinese yet. But what we can do is that we're going to record this meeting so that we're gonna maybe add some subtitles into it in Chinese version so that we can send it to the mass market and everyone can have a look into it. Do you think that's a good idea?
Oh, yeah. I mean, how about the community members? Do they think that that's a good idea as well?
So
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, so we can record this meeting and then we can send it to the backend and then add some subtitles into it into Chinese. And then, so yeah, maybe that would be a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's good because I mean, most of the people who do not speak English, they just want to see you to know you are a real person. So that's why they feel more confident.
Yes, I'm a real person.
Yeah, yes. Some people think this company must be a scam or something like that. So they want to see real person. That's why they are here. So
and it's smart because it's very smart because with the crypto world back in 2017, right? I was already in crypto into space. You have to be very careful about stuff, and it's good that people are doing their due diligence and checking different stuff about the company, checking with me. So this is checking with our other team members, asking questions. This is what we promote. This is what we want people to do, because we want blockchain and crypto, all of the aspects to have a very positive feel. We don't want people to go back home or to someone say, "Oh, those people, they lied to me," no, we don't want that. This is not a good feel. Even because I'm in the blockchain space, I don't want someone to say, I don't want to be sitting, in a coffee shop and have someone say, "Oh, I heard about this blockchain crap. It's all just junk. They're all just bad stuff." I don't want to hear this. I want to hear people say positive things about blockchain and about crypto. So I'm glad that people are able to come here and express their views.
Right. So basically, because we only have like limited time, so I want to ask you some quick question. Then I will pass it to our US leaders. Okay.
So, sure, I will do my best to answer.
Sure. So first of all, I want to know. We know we have a technical team, but we never meet any of those. Technical people. So we don't know their background, what they are doing, like how many people they have. What we were told is some technical people they are in UK, right? And some technical people they are in Dubai or somewhere. So we have basically 2 technical team, right?
Oh, well, we have people because nowadays, right? Because of the lockdowns that have happened recently, we are decentralized, just like blockchain is decentralized. We have people all over the world. So if we're going to have a meeting with them, or if you're going to share more about them, we need to be able to arrange specific times. So the best way, if ever we were to have a meeting with a technical team or maybe perhaps a CTO or something, we would arrange a time that we are all able to, communicate together at the same time, right? We can all enter at the same time, right? We can arrange it. Like I said, the team is, like I said, I'm in blockchain, so they're decentralized. They're all over the place. We have, like you had said, some all over the world. So we work together on that, and I think Aurelius at some point will be able to perhaps provide more information on that with you, or if they have other more specific questions. But you're correct. We have more team members around the world.
I think Mr. Rao, I think Mr. Rao wanted to specifically ask, what are they most focused on at the moment? What is that team working on?
Oh, well, the dev team is working on a number of things. I'm not, 100% versed on what they are because the CTO will be handling most of that information, and I just receive, what is the most relevant as far as the business side. But they're definitely working on our DEX partnerships, our IDO that is coming up, the different NFTs that we are offering, and of course.
I'm sorry, you mentioned the DEX. That was what I was going to ask you since we're already on this topic. Which DEX are we going on? Are we doing the DEX first and then we're doing the centralized exchange? Or are we going we're going to stay on the DEX for until?
We'll be doing an IDO, and that's that's just partnering with a couple of companies. For now, we're just still in discussions with the exact companies, right? So this one is going to be released to you guys soon by, I believe, Aurelius or one of the other team members that you're regularly in communication with. They'll be able to give the 100% details on that. Once because when we are communicating with these companies, even a DEX is decentralized, they still like to keep stuff confidential. And this is something that I have seen. I understand where you're coming from. You'd like to know exactly what one, but a lot of companies, they don't even let us tell them anyone before, maybe even a day before. They need to post the listing before. And I've seen this before because then if you know where you're going to list, maybe people are going to buy that token there, or they're going to, try to buy it now, or they're going to try to dump it or do pump and dumps because they know where it's going to be. They're going to get it. So we don't release where it's going to list and necessarily when it's going to list until it is 100% concrete and agreed upon with the exchange, whether it's centralized or decentralized. So I think at this time, this is the most information I can give you.
Well, yeah, regarding on the dev team side, I have a lot of people asking me what the team developers are doing, what are they mostly focused on right now. I don't know what to tell the people in my circle. Maybe what would you say if you're in my shoes?
In your shoes? Well, I would say they are working on keeping up to date on the current information that we have about the metaverse and what to develop and app development. Our micro swap, which is this is a somewhat big coding, I believe. I'm not a coding guy. I don't know. Right. I know basic tech stuff. I don't, but maybe you too. I mean, I can work my way around a blockchain, around a DEX, the basic, but I can't code at all. I can get on a computer. I can do my stuff. I can perhaps play some games once in a while if I have time. But the coding that they can do is going to be, really intense. So perhaps if we let's see, our CTO, he's usually quite busy. We can perhaps discuss with Aurelius if we can come up with a time to perhaps speak with our CTO or perhaps one of his top managers that he is working with that can explain things perhaps in much more detail than I can, if that's what you would prefer. But for now, I think what they're working on is, I said, the dApps, right? App development, our micro swap, the different Minos, right? Because these still have to be created. Of course, some of them are procedurally generated, randomly generated, right? They're unique, but they also have to do different coding for different designs, right? So the different NFTs, we have ones always checking our code to make sure, and perhaps we have some that are some core developers that are still working on the MicroVerse metaverse itself, because this is a very intense thing. From my understanding, I can only imagine you creating a world online that is, unlimited in a way. I can assume that this is very, very, very complicated coding. So I would say probably you can tell them working on app development, right? Working on making sure we can comply and let's say talk well with the DEXs as far as the code, right? Security is another one. Minos was the first NFT, and then our other NFTs, perhaps they're making them ahead of time, or they're just arranging stuff to be able to release to the future. In the future, that will be more different, and that will be more readily created and made. So we don't have to sit around and wait for them to code different NFTs. They're kind of sitting in our bank, just waiting to be released. This is perhaps a method. that the CTO is using with them. Because I hope that this is the best that I can answer your question right now.
That's the best I'm going to be able to answer other people too.
Yeah, I mean, and if they can't, then I don't know. I mean, then maybe they're gonna have to go a bit unsatisfied then.
Okay. Any other questions from the U.S. leaders? Like Yin, do you have any question or?
Yes. So I want to know, MicroSwap is like doing exchanging coins, stuff like this.
Yep. Just like Uniswap, just like PancakeSwap. So all of these companies, there are projects, perhaps we can call, they're doing this. We believe this is a very smart thing as well, because we'll be creating our own ecosystem. We'll be creating our own platform with NFTs. We're gonna have a token with the IDO that's coming up, right? And so we want to make a place that's easy for our users to exchange the NFTs or exchange tokens. Yes, it'll be a quick swap. Yeah, and it's on Binance. It's on the BEP20, so that's the Binance sort of. It's not really. It's kind of the Binance chain, but it's kind of their own BEP20, the older one. I don't know. Binance has some other. In other words, we're building on Binance, so it'll be like PancakeSwap in a way. Of course, it probably won't be offering as many, the hundreds or even thousands of coins that PancakeSwap offers, but we have to start from somewhere, and perhaps we can add, who knows, how many coins in the future, which that will also be good for MicroVerse as well, because then we can have much more liquidity and volume with other coins.
When do you expect the MicroSwap will come out?
Aurelius, what did we say the timeline was for that? I think that was next month. Yeah. I think next month.
It will be in December. December.
Oh, December. Yeah. Sometime in December. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it'll be pretty neat to try out. Be cool.
So in the coming 3 months, we're going to have more Mino come out, right?
Yeah, I believe this is the plan. We have the first dinosaur Minos, and then perhaps even if you guys have the community members, if they have some theme perhaps of NFTs that they would like released, perhaps maybe different. If you guys love dogs or something, or if you love other things, perhaps we could do a little like a poll to see what people would prefer. Perhaps maybe we'll get 100 different answers, or maybe we'll just get like 3. Then we can really choose from them. So I think this would be a good way for our community members to have a more hands-on experience.
Okay. So for the land, when can we buy? Can we buy the land after the game come out, or we buy the land before the game come out?
I believe it's going to be a method of pre-selling, but of course it's not like right now, but it will be a method of pre-selling before it comes out, and then of course, just like Decentraland, they are able to purchase all the time now, right? It's open 100%. You can purchase whenever, whether it's from someone else or whether it's from the platform itself. And so ours is going to be perhaps in a way some pre-sale. We'll offer perhaps pre-sale deals, just like with a token. If you buy at a certain time, you'd be able to get at a better rate, perhaps. And then perhaps we can go back to just the buy after release.
Do we have a specific time that the land will be released?
I don't know. I'd have to check with the development team on that, but I can say right now, not this year, for sure, not this year. We are focusing on the other stuff right now. So like we said, we're doing the different Minos, we're doing the IDO, we're going to focus on the MicroSwap, we're going to focus on partnering with some other DEXs. So I don't even want to give a number, because if I give a number, it's recording, and then I might be oh, well, he said this. As we know in development, if anyone knows anything about development, it is, can be, you can run into problems, unexpected problems, and this can affect, the development process. And if I say, oh, it's going to be by this time next year, and it's not, I don't want people to feel upset that I was false with them. I hope you understand what I mean with that. We need to be careful about how we release the information, and we can give regular updates about, oh, we've developed this part of it, we've done this part of it. I can speak to them about starting or when we can start releasing updates about the development process, if this will help. But the specific date we don't have yet, but we are hoping sometime next year. This is the most specific I can get.
Okay, so as I noticed, the token going to release in the market on 18 this month, and the price would be 0.03. What happened if during that time somebody dumped the token? Would it be go lower than that price?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think it will go too much lower because we're going to be releasing, right, the token at a specific price. So 100%, I mean, I can say that we are going to get people that want to sell, but I believe, we hope that our community members are going to be strong enough that they're going to like the project and believe that it's better to buy them and hold them for now, because as we know in crypto, when we hold stuff, we can, holding it longer translates to, right, more value. So this is what we hope our community members will do. We can never know if someone's going to try to get rid of them. I cannot force people to what to do with the tokens. I can't force them, but of course, we encourage people to hold them and to wait for the climbs based on, as we know in the crypto market now, if anyone watches Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of these other tokens, Litecoin especially too, just jumped up. If you were holding this, or if you had sold a month ago, you would have missed out on what, 20% gains or something, or 30%. So we encourage people to, if you're going to get them during the pre-sale or during the initial rate, I believe it's on the 15th, they will be offered. And then if the first stage is not met 100%, then the second stage, at, you had said, the 3 cents will be offered. But the first initial part is on I think it's the 15th, right, Aurelius? The 15th?
Yeah, around that time. Yep.
Yeah, I think around the 15th sometime. And this will be at 0.025 cents. So 2.5 cents. This will be the rate. So actually, this is actually better than the 3 cents that you had quoted. And that is the second stage of the release from the most recent information that I've gotten. So again, we hope that people will just continue to hold and have faith in the project, just like many projects in the past, right? If you had held them for a certain amount of time, who knows what your gains were? I mean, again, I'm into many different projects. I watch them. I wish perhaps I had bought some of them when I learned about them, because they've gone up 10,000% or 1,000% even. And again, I wish I had bought and held, or even just held some of the ones that I was holding from a month ago instead of selling and making small profit, because I do a little trading here and there. But yeah, we encourage people to hold and to just promote the company, promote the project, and that will help the price to increase, which we all like, right? We all like the price to increase after you purchase.
Right.
As I understand, when people buying the NFT and people buying land and people spend money on the project, then the value of the token will continually going up. But right now, at this moment, we only selling like very minimal NFT, and we not selling land. I just want to know if the company have any strategy to keep the price stable?
Well, I mean, yes, we can. Like I said, we cannot combat prices going up or down, right? Because it's a free market, right? We don't want to. What do I say? Manipulate the market, right? This is not a good thing to do. This can turn out good in the short term, but very bad in the long term. So we don't want to do this. And I'm sure no members would want us to manipulate it as well, because this would not be a very honest thing to do as well. So yeah, I mean, like we had said, the main things we're doing to promote this is we're going to have the IDO, right? Initial DEX offering, which is coming up soon, which is finalizing final details, but we know the price that we'll be offering at and the amount of tokens that will be released at this time, and the relative date around, that'll be mid this month. So we have that, or actually that's actually what's today's 10th, right? Or the 11th. It's actually in a few days. So we have this. So we're going to do step by step. So we're going to release a token, right? Then we're going to do the IDO, and then we're going to be releasing NFTs. Then we're going to be releasing different partnership agreements and perhaps different partnership announcements. So we want to keep the flow going. We can't release everything at once, because then, yes, the hype, right, the people's excitement will perhaps wane over time. It will go down and they'll lose interest. So we want to release it step by step, which we believe this is a good thing for any project, to release things step by step. You don't want to release 100% to the market, to the users, to the people, because then they have no new news to look forward to. They have no new developments to look forward to. So we're taking things step by step, slowly. We're making sure that we are doing them right. We don't want to tell you guys we're going to get you the moon and then we'll only give you a rock from the moon, right? We want to make sure that we are doing things correctly, and we're doing things safely, and we're doing things properly, that we have seen other projects do in the past, so that we can all benefit from this.
Okay. Right now we have 8% of the token contributed to the supernode, and how many percent of the tokens going to be released to the partner? I know this the company already have some partnership, and how many percent of the token the company totally have?
I don't have those numbers in front of me right now. What were they, Aurelius? Aurelius will be able to answer that, I think, if he has that.
Yeah, so that's a very good question, Mr. Sun. Okay, so
it is a good question.
Yeah, at the time being, okay, we do not have the figures and the statistics and the data with us for the time being. But if you wish, in the next coming meeting, we can then provide more clarification upon that question that you have, Mr. Sun. Okay, but regarding about the partnerships and everything, definitely, if any companies who are interested in terms of partnering with us, or if they have any proposals, definitely we can come up with something to ensure that the value of our NFT tokens will increase even higher. Okay, so that is up to the table for us to discuss, okay, in the future. But right now, regarding about the data, regarding about the figures, okay, we do not have it on hand yet. It's because we need to liaise with other departments to get that information. Okay, and every partnership, okay, that has been entered with the company, okay, almost $500 million will be locked within a 2 years time. That is for sure, okay. But of course, this number will fluctuate depending on the terms and negotiations. But more or less, it will be this amount, okay. So yeah, the exact figure we do not have it yet, but in coming meetings, okay, we can provide more clarification upon it. All right, thank you.
And I don't know whether you already explained how long is the partnership going to hold the token?
Okay, and again, it's around 2 years time span. Okay, like what I've said before, it's around 2 years time span that will be locked of their initial capital. So more or less, likely it will be around 2 years.
Okay, yeah, the tokens are locked.
Exactly, we need a lock period, or else we don't, like you had talked about, or like you had brought up earlier. We don't want too many to release onto the market at one time, because we know, right, a lot of people release these things ahead of time, or release them when they get them. I hear many projects on YouTube. They have some that they got this token from this, and then they just release it so quick and then dumps the price. We don't want this to happen. So with specific partners and people that are holding the tokens, especially team members as well, their tokens will be locked.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question again. You were just talking about giving suggestions as for how we can increase exposure for this project. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of metaverse projects. They're pushing out their NFTs before releasing their game or any kind of information that they're giving out. Before anything, they're doing NFTs. Now, my suggestion is before you release the IDO, shoot some NFTs on maybe Immutable X, which is a new project which you probably heard of. Shoot it out to either that or OpenSeas, and then we get more exposure on Twitter. You should make a good Twitter account, and then we get just expose the company on the NFTs. And when the IDO does release, you guys can get more exposure for people who wants to invest on the IDO or what have you. But obviously, you have to give better instructions on how to get into the IDO, because I'm sure everybody here has no idea how to do it.
Oh yeah, exactly. And this is good. This is really good too. And I believe they are working on our official Twitter account, because this, of course, like you had said, this is a very good thing to do to reach international markets, not just our own specific, as I believe you guys have your markets of people that you will be introducing, and it's just good to bring in outside members, outside users, and to get people to know this, and just to share about the information that's going on, or the different tokens that are being, or the different information, the different, let's say, promotions, perhaps. This will be the, as you know, for sure, this will be the marketing side that will be handling this. I'm sure Aurelius, he's here, so he'll be able to come up with this in more detail and give updates on this. And I think Aurelius, just take notes of what he has suggested. Confirm that we have the Twitter account being released or open soon and released soon, and the different information.
Twitter, NFT, pre-IDO exposure. We need more exposure. Yeah, especially on the American side. You want to do, because we love the NFTs. You want to shoot it out to OpenSeas or Immutable X or something.
Oh yeah. But,
yeah, definitely.
But OpenSea they're only ERC20, right? They're not Binance. They're not BSC yet. I think what is BSC? I had done something on BSC. I had made my own little NFT, because I buy art sometimes, so I had put one on there as well, like actual physical art. What was the name of it?
Pancake?
I forget, but I'll tell them the one that I used to definitely push that onto that other third-party platform as well. I forget what it is. Because BSC chain is not on, I don't think it's on OpenSea at this time. They only take ERC20.
Then
from my understanding,
there's a possible idea, if for whoever owns the MicroVerse token, they can stake it onto your project, and you can provide them with gems or something that you can exchange for your own NFT. The little cute NFTs you guys made.
So staking. Yeah. This is a good thing to do. This requires, from my understanding of it, I mean, this needs to be coded in, pre-code to the platform itself, and we would have to determine if this would be a sort of a standalone program to stake, or if it would be in a feature once the metaverse itself is, releasing. So the staking is a good idea, and we didn't talk about this with anyone because we weren't sure if people would be interested in this, because staking does imply that you will be holding your tokens for a long time, which we do promote, right? We want this. But we also know there are people out there that perhaps, I don't want to give a number, but I've seen people invest in projects, and then right when it releases, they just want to dump it. So we want to promote people to buy. We also don't want to make people stake it, or perhaps feel that they have to stake it. So staking is a good idea, It provides, let's say a sort of passive way of earning something from the company instead of just holding it and looking at it, right? They can give them to promotions, like you had said, specific NFTs. Perhaps we could do an NFT program that's like, oh, just whoever is staked, they are eligible for these airdrop NFTs or something. And I think this is a good suggestion. So thank you for that as well. So we can look into this as well, Aurelius, what the staking possibilities are with the team.
Okay. All right.
Because this is cool too, because I stake a lot of stuff as well. I'm staking Kava right now, staking BNB. I was Atom for a while, but then I stopped staking that one.
Okay.
So staking is a good thing.
Yeah. So I believe Mr. Ryan is going to have to attend another meeting very soon. So maybe we can take around 2 to 3 more questions before we officially end the meeting. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to shoot it out so that Mr. Ryan can help you to answer it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, please hurry up.
I do have a couple questions. My name is Sally.
Hello, Sally.
The question is, I know we've been talking to people in Singapore. Is most of the people in the Singapore, or why is it, the business based? I guess it was just the United Kingdom. Why is all these we working in Singapore? I'm just curious.
Well, some of our core team members are there, right? Because it's a very diverse place, right? And I've been to Singapore many times. I'm actually in the Philippines myself because I've been here coming out into Asia since 2012. So I've met many people in the crypto space back in 2014 was when I first was around here. I first got into Bitcoin. Well, not really into it. I learned about it a bit, what it was. Unfortunately, I didn't buy. So I got into it at that point. So I've been out here. So I was living in Singapore for a year, maybe a year and a half, in Malaysia for 1 year. And I was in China for 3 years. So I've had a diverse experience with Asia itself, and I've built relationships and many friends here. So also the reason in Singapore is because, Singapore is, I don't know if you've been there before, but it's a country that is a city, so it's very easy for them to implement regulations, to implement changes, to implement new technologies. They're not like the US where they need to go through all this legislature, all this stuff, and they just talk about something for 2 or 3 years. They can, if they want it now, they will do it now. And this is why we have focused a little bit more on the team members that you're meeting, at least, that are in Singapore, because of the technology side of it. They're a very good country to work in when it comes to tech. Just like, in the US, just like California used to be. Now I believe it is Austin, right? I believe it's Austin, Texas is the place that everyone from Silicon Valley is moving to, or at least new companies are going to Texas instead. So Singapore is just the way they do business, they're able to promote more of a technology friendly, especially blockchain friendly environment. So this is what we like to have, at least to have our team members there, some of our team members, and to go from there. And they're just from there because I was there and I met them before. So this is why we choose Singapore for some of our side, our members to live there. And they're from there, they live there. So.
Right, and they're very multilingual too. And that I'm very appreciative of Aurelius and Vince helping out my teams. I have a few people that has different languages, so they're very helpful. I have to say that.
It's good. Well, yes. Sorry.
Give the backs up on them. My other question: we tried to Google up the company, but we couldn't find the exact address. Is there a particular name for your company that we could Google? Anybody can Google up and look for the company itself. We tried MicroVerse.
When you say company itself, what do you mean? Well, like an office?
Yeah, we want to find out where the office is and where is this company registered. All that people ask me all that question is when I type in MicroVerse the word, there's a bunch of MicroVerse names comes up. We could not pinpoint which is the company. So that also can make people feel like, what kind of company is this? I said, I don't know. But
that's a good point. Yeah, Aurelius, just make sure that you check that this information has been really, that's, what do we say, more like there's the keywords, because if people are going to search, we need to have specific keywords for Google to pick it up and to put it at the top of the list. This is the SEO. This is actually the SEO part of it. So we need to make sure these keywords, but also these keywords, they take like up to 3 months to properly be implemented onto Google's algorithms and onto their search parameters. So the keywords need to be all the time updated. They need to be optimized for that. So this is SEO, is a search engine optimization, and this is why you're getting MicroVerse. This is another, what was the company? Because I've also seen MicroVerse as well. It's not, I think it's like a hiring company. I see a bunch of videos from some MicroVerse other company. It's not us. The first one that pops up on Google, it's not us. Forget what they're doing. I didn't pay attention to them too much, but could be one of the reasons why you're not finding something, just because it's because if you search MicroVerse, I don't know how many search results come up on Google. It's probably hundreds to thousands of pages. So I'm sure we're there somewhere, but to be able to release on the top of that list is very sought after, and it's very difficult to get up there because it requires years and years and years of a domain being registered, right? And this information to be cataloged into the net itself, into their search engine. So perhaps it's being lost somewhere in the hundreds or thousands of search results. So we will look into see what we can do about getting a more detailed information to share to your members, to the people that are asking you about this.
Right, and also is that we try to look you up. Actually, I have a lot of people who actually are very prominent people, and they try to look you up, and they couldn't find your information as much as they thought. So they were also curious as that. Maybe you can increase your, I guess, your profile in there, and if you could, a particular, like you said, the keyword, maybe. What is the exact name of the company? Is it MicroVerse Technology or MicroVerse just by yourself? What is it? Maybe you have to make it so that if people go into MicroVerse, they can pretty much pick you on the first one. That would be very appreciative. So I came across asking that
for sure. Yes, thank you for that suggestion. That's a very good suggestion, and we want people to be able to search easily.
Right, and to
find us, because this helps a lot.
Right, to stand out so we can promote this company as what your dream, or as well as our dream, I think, and not make it into a company that they could literally cannot find the little sand in the stone. Or like, where am I looking at? I said, I don't know. My other thing is there any way you guys can, the app on the iPhone is not very friendly. We have trouble with quite a few challenges in the way. Can you find a way how to make that app for the iPhone more user friendly, I think?
Aurelius, maybe after this meeting, you can take some written notes or written feedback on the app and see how we can improve that.
Yeah, that's sure.
And the last thing I have is talk about the payment plans. Challenges in my end.
Okay, I think Aurelius will be able to handle that in much more detail and answer those questions better than I will.
Yes, right. And Vince, thank you for that. I know you've been helping me for the past week and a half. We're still having challenges not accomplished yet. I think I asked quite a few questions. In the future, I would like to, I guess, be more engaged with you guys. My partner, Jack, has a few questions. May he ask a few questions?
Yeah, maybe we can take one or two before we end the meetings, because Mr. Ryan has to join in another one very quick. But yeah, maybe one or two questions.
Hello, Ryan.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Henry Wolfinger. I was recruited by Sally. In the beginning, you said this is kind of like the internet when it first started. I'm not sure exactly what you meant. Is it kind of, and what is it not like the internet?
What I was referring to is that when the internet was, let's say, released to the public, it was new, right? It was fresh. It was a bit, how do we say, daunting, right? It was, I mean, when it released, it was daunting. Like, people didn't know too much about it. They were perhaps wary of it, or they didn't understand it fully. And of course, they didn't know the full potential of it. So this is in the way that I was referring that it is like the internet or similar to the internet, or sort of like the internet, as you were quoting me saying, so sort of. Because when the internet first released, they were very small HTML pages. They were very simple, very block letters. They didn't have moving graphics, right? It was very simple pages that you look at, and they're mostly chat rooms, chat places, and they weren't building things like like Telegram or like Zoom websites. They weren't building. I think at that point there was no also like web chatting websites. There was not. What were they? Weren't like exchanges, like, because a lot of them are doing financial exchanges now on there. None of this was on internet, I believe, at that point when it first released. And all I was getting at is that the internet first released, it was very unknown, it was unfamiliar to people, it was daunting, it was confusing, it was underdeveloped, it was new. There was so much that they could improve on, and so much that they have done from now until when it released. So this is what I'm saying about metaverse. The metaverse itself, it's very new. If you go into Decentraland, you're going to look at blocky shapes that are kind of, you need a way to get into there as well. So the user interface, all this stuff has room for improvement. It has room to get better, has room to be more easy to use. Even blockchain itself is new and daunting, and when it comes to tech, and even the user interfaces for these programs, for these dApps, for these, everything is always improving. And this is this is one of the things that we hope that we can contribute to making better about the metaverse and about the blockchain and crypto and NFTs in general. So I hope this answers your question a bit.
Yeah, I'm all pretty new to all of this. The terminology of, I don't know what a pancake swap is, micro swap. All these things are new terms that I've never heard before. So I hope that any question I ask is not a stupid question. I'm just trying to learn as much about it as I possibly can.
Not at all. I wouldn't say daily, but very often I am interacting with people that are not familiar with blockchain, or not familiar with crypto, or perhaps they've only heard of Bitcoin, but they've never. The most common question I get is, how can I buy Bitcoin? I'm like, you just go onto this exchange, input your info, be approved, take a photo of yourself. Hi, look, right? They take this, and then they're approved, and they'll be able to, purchase crypto, right? Purchase Bitcoin. So this is one of the most common questions, and for sure, this is a good question to have, because most people, if they don't understand something, instead of, if they don't get a sufficient answer, they will maybe tend to back away from it, shy away from it, and not actually want to learn about it, because it would be too much, and they'll just want to, screw it, I don't want to know anything about it, and they just give up. So it's very good that you're showing initiative to learn more about it, and I'm glad that you are asking these questions, because it shows your interest in it. So the best way, I think just YouTube is a good, I don't know how you are able to intake information, right? For me, myself, I like to read, but then I will read different explanations of something, perhaps 3 or 4 different kinds of explanations, like from 3 or 4 different people, and then I like to watch a visual representation of something. Perhaps if it's blockchain, or it's metaverse, or if it's NFT stuff. Watching YouTube is very good if you're a visual learner. Reading, they have lots of articles as well, are very good for visual learn, for let's say what I forget what they call people that learn by reading. So that's my method. I read first about it, If I don't quite grasp it, then I will watch some videos and see how people explain it. Probably even just search on YouTube blockchain for dummies, because as we know, this is a very big book, like whatever for dummies. This is not saying, of course, not dummy, but this is a very good way to find videos that are explaining things in a simple way. But this is the best that I can give at this point. And all I can say is be patient, because when I first learning about it, it took me months to actually be able to explain it to someone without explaining it in like 1,000 words. What blockchain is, at least.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I think
I have one last.
I think we'll just take one last one, because I do have to go. I have a meeting at 11. It's at 10:53 now.
Okay, quick. Okay, anyway, I guess not really a question. I guess is kind of give little suggestions. Is there any way we could do on the MicroVerse app? Is there any way you could put the address of this company register and where's it based at and who's the CEO with a little information about you before they go to search you, or it's a link that you can get into you so they don't have to go into the Google and look for all that information. So look, here's the information. I send it to you, read it, and then, follow the whatever link for you to search for you if they want to. Make it.
Oh, sure, into the app itself.
Yes, into the app, like the company, was it register, the address, the phone number, who's the people behind the scene. You know what I'm saying? So if at least they have some information. Right now, everything is like total blank. We don't know who to contact. I mean, lucky Mike, the people who refer me give me a lot of information. And the people who are my team right now asking all these questions, that's why I'm giving you the suggestions. Hopefully you take that. And I appreciate for putting this together. And as a young CEO, it's not easy.
Yeah.
I admire that. Putting this together. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you for the suggestion. I think that would be good to put the basic company information. The only thing because we are quite decentralized, putting a specific address may be a bit misleading, because perhaps you can put an address, but this may not be main operations, because we have someone here building this core feature. We have someone over here in a different country building this other core feature. So if we put a company address, this may just be like how do we say, just like a kind of like a satellite office in a way, because we are not like in the standard, you all come to work in this one big building and you have 50 employees sitting here together in one place coding or in your cubicles. This is not the setup that we have. We are because to get the best talent required for development, first, it's very hard to find people for blockchain because there's so much competition out there and there's so few people that actually know to code. We have to search abroad. When I say abroad, I mean we have to search worldwide. We have to search globally for the best talent. And so an office, yes, we can come up with. I think they have a satellite office they'll be able to put up there. A phone number, we'll have to. Most of the time, we don't even use phone numbers to communicate. We use Telegram to communicate. I use Telegram mostly to communicate with anyone on my team or everyone. That's all I use, Telegram. My phone number, I don't have any other phone number for myself, just a local phone number in the Philippines is it. And so I just use Telegram. This is the best way I find to communicate with people. So I think Aurelius, if anything, he is the person to contact or to give his Telegram info to, or however you guys are communicating with him. I believe WeChat is also a big chat app for people to use as well. I don't know about now, but with you guys. But definitely, I would say the best, most convenient way to communicate with different team members, or if you have questions, would be to use Telegram and to download that if you haven't already. It's a really well-known platform and chat that allows video chat, calling, and chatting as well, and creating of groups. So I think this would be the most efficient way to get into contact with our team members.
Yeah, anything that can get in contact or some whatever you think is good to share, so people feel comfortable that there's with the company they can trust. I think the word is they need to know who you are, where's the company registered at. Even if in
Yeah.
we mostly work in Singapore, but we'll register United Kingdom, and that's the address, or Singapore, that's the address we, right now based
Yeah.
station at. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. They'll work on that. I think I
Great.
realize he's listening. He's muted his microphone, but he's listening to it. He's listening.
Yeah,
He'll take note of that.
Taking notes down, right? Yeah.
Yes, well, I think I did tell you all that question previously, but I figured I'll just let them know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I do have to go. It's nice to meet everyone. I don't get all of your name. I see Yingyi-san. I see Kevin. I can't read the Chinese. I see Peter. Odu I see Odu Kayed. Another one. I see Anna Ferg and Wang Celia Wang. So it's nice to meet you guys. And for the Chinese, 你好. 再见啊. I speak a little Chinese, okay? 我会一点点中文了，我会一点点中文了。
You will learn.
That's just a little.
You will get a lot of Singapore teams over there.
Oh yes, exactly. And I stated that I've lived in China before, so I lived in Shenzhen for 3 years, which is also a big tech city. So I know a little bit, but I've not been there for 2+ years. So my Chinese is decreasing a little bit. So hopefully, because we have so many Chinese members, I'll be able to learn a bit more, especially from my team members as well, that are in Singapore.
Hope to see you someday in USA, whatever you are.
Yeah. Let's see. Once the lockdowns are lifted, because mostly easy for me to travel around to Asia for now.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot.
All right. Yes.
All
Thank you guys. Have a good night. Nice to meet everyone.
Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you for your time.
Tony, for putting this together.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
Yes. No problem.
Okay.
All right,
thank you so much, everyone. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right.